Hi there, I'm Max. I'm the field application engineer at Crank Software. We are at the Embedded World right now, presenting Storyboard 8.0. So let me show you some of the new features we have for you in this new version. So if you know our suite and you have worked in Storyboards before, you know that we take this approach in which we involve the UX design a little bit longer in the process. So what I want to show you is how you can very quickly prototype, test, and deploy your application. So let me take you first to Photoshop. So here we have a couple of designs of smart house appliance where we have some slides, some screens. And what I want to do is to import this project into Storyboards and start creating some actions and functions and then deploy to my target. So what I want to do first is I'm going to go to the import function, the PC import function, and I'm going to see this window. So I'm going to look for my project here, and I'm going to just click it, hit open, and then hit finish. So what's going to happen now is Storyboard is going to take every object that belongs to this project, and it's not going to rasterize anything, but it's going to take every control individual. So what we can do here is we can start creating some actions by right-clicking and then adding a new action. I'm just going to do something super basic. I'm just going to hit select the press and a screen transition so we can test how to jump between screens when clicking those icons. I'm going to choose any screen it's not important right now. I'm going to hit finish, and I'm going to repeat the process for the next button here. I'm going to choose a press again, a screen transition, and I'm going to come back to that voice screen, and I'm going to hit finish. As you know, we can simulate here, so I'm just going to hit the simulation button. So I'm going to save that, and once the simulation starts, I can start playing around with that. So now, what's the new feature we have introduced? So, as you know, we can export this into Target in the traditional way, but what I want to do now is show you a new function that we call remote launch. The difference is that usually when exporting, you have to deploy your application, and then you have to deploy your engine, and then you will create a script to call your engine and pass the application as an argument. Now, if you want to start testing, you can use our remote launch function, in which you can choose the engine you're going to use, you can choose the application, and you can use our legacy script to say so to run your application in just one step. So let me show you first here. I have this is my target. This is AMETEK 8 from NXP. Here I have Linux running and it's ready to be used. Linux is running, I don't have any application running there. So I'm gonna come back here to Storyboards, and I'm gonna go to the simulator configurations. And what I have to do here is just to keep the data that I need to communicate with my target. In my case, I have an internet connection, so all I need to know is to find out the IP address, which I have here, then user, password, and then I gotta choose where my application is gonna be deployed. Then I have here a large variety of engines that I can choose. In my case, it's Linux OS, as I say, I'm using Wayland, so that's the one for me. And here I can choose where the runtime is going to be deployed, and here we see this launch script that's very straightforward. It's just exporting some variables and calling the engine. So I'm just going to hit run, and what's going to happen now is that the communication is going to, after the communication is successful, I will see my application deploy here into my target. I'm going to get that message that things are ready, and I can start playing with it right away. Of course, one thing to add is that, of course, as you know, sometimes we have to make some changes to our project. So as I like to show, we have different versions of the same project. So this is a similar one where the icons have been replaced. And what I want to do now is I want to pull this second design into Storyboards, and I want to keep working with these functions that I have created before. So how can I achieve this? I have to go to the reimport function now instead of the import function, and I'm gonna look for that second design. So I'm gonna choose it, and I'm gonna hit next. And what's gonna happen now is Storyboard is gonna compare the two, the new version with the old version, and I'm gonna see this wizard, which is some kind of kit style with window in which I can see a difference differences between the old content and the new content. Now I can start choosing what I want for my application, and I can leave aside the things I don't want. In my case, I'm just gonna hit select all, and here we'll see a preview of how the thing is gonna look like. Now if we check the background, we will see this old version with the icons, and if we check the preview window, we are gonna see a new version where the logo has been moved. There are those new icons instead of the old icons. I'm just gonna hit finish. Once the process is done, I will see my new application, and I can again simulate that. I'm gonna first simulate here in my computer, and I can see that when I click the different icons, the functions are still there. We didn't erase anything. So this allows us to work in parallel with the designer, which is a very huge advantage. And also, maybe I want to try this on target as well. So I'm going to go again there to the simulation, and I'm going to hit this remote launch configuration that I have done before. And I'm going to hit OK. And if we check out the target, in a matter of seconds, the new application should be deployed. And now it's running, and I can start playing around with the application and test that the functions are still there, and I can quickly prototype not only on storyboards but also on target. So these are some of the new features we have. We have many others. I invite you to go and check our website and find out more about our new Storyboards 8.0.